Dear students, let us discuss about the circuit analysis. I already discussed in my previous lecture, but let's have a more understanding on this. Here I got a circuit where the resistances are R1, R2, R3, R4, R5 and R6. For the simplified purpose, let us take all the resistances 12K. So all being 12K, we can find as series and parallel combinations as per the requirement. Let us see the first case. What he says is find RAB if everything is okay. RAB means I may not have mentioned it is A here, it is B here. That is total resistance between R, A and B. Let us see the value of resistance between A and B under different conditions. The first condition is let all resistances are okay. Now it is very clear that everybody being 12, so R1 will be 12 plus R2, R3 parallel. Now this is 12, this is 12. If you remember, we can find product of the resistances, that is 12 into 12 divided by 12 plus 12, that is 24. This comes out nothing but 6 ohms. Plus, similarly, when 3 resistors 12 are in parallel, it is simply 12 divided by 3. That gives me 4 ohms. So this gives you nothing but 22 ohms. That means if all the resistors are okay, the total resistance value is 24 ohms. Let us see the next case now. What he says, if R3 is short. Now if R3 becomes short, it is very clear that a short in parallel with any resistance is a short. So R2 loses its significance. This total resistance is going to be 0. Now this you already know that the parallel combination of these three gives me nothing but 4. This is nothing but 12. So 12 plus 4 gives me nothing but 16. So the value in the second case is nothing but 16. And let us see the third case where R6 is open. If you see very carefully, if R6 is open, that means this is removed from here. So resistance value of R4 and R5 in parallel is nothing but 6. This is again 6. 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus R1, which is again 12, gives me nothing but 24. So that is what you are getting here. That is 24. Now see the next case. What is talking is if R2 is open and R5 is short. If R2 is open, that means this is gone, and R5 is short, that means this is as good as this one, this arrangement. But this being short in parallel with this, any of the resistance now becomes short, so the resistance is 0. This being open, it is just as R3. So R1, which is 12, plus R3, which is again 12, gives me nothing but 24 again. This is how we get the different possible combinations. So with a simple example, you can understand that how to go through short and parallel. I hope this concept is clear. Let us understand a very simple example of this gates. It is very clear from the symbol that this is a NAND gate, but if both the input are short, it is equivalent to a NOT gate. Similarly, this is also equivalent to a NOT gate. And let us see what happens. If the data is A, because of NOT gate, it becomes A complement here. If it is B, it becomes B complement here. This is A complement, B complement written here. And now, this being a NAND gate, what happens? It will be actually A bar and its dot B bar, the whole bar. This bar is one of the input, A bar is one of the input, B bar is the other input, dot is because of and bar is representing actually NAND. The concept of logic says that this can be written as, what we say is, you break the line and change the sign. Now A complement, again a complement back is only A, and B complement is nothing but B. This is nothing but configuration of a OR gate. So this whole configuration exactly is equivalent to a OR gate, because plus represents OR operation. If we see the truth table, you can justify from the truth table also. We know in a OR operation, if both the inputs are 0, then only we get 0. If any one of them is 1 and if both are 1, we always get 1. This is how we have equivalents of gates. Now let us say a very simple problem, that if 10 raised to 18 electrons flows for 1 second through a cross section, find a current. Now there is nothing very difficult, but still we should know. Number of electrons are given here, 10 raised to 18. Time given in 1 second. Charge of 1 electron, I think all of you know that it is much coulomb. And if we go ahead, then current is Q upon time. Q is charge upon time. Now what is the total charge? Number of electrons into charge of 1 electron. This is an electron charge. This is the number of electrons. Time is 1 second. If we just simplify, we get nothing but 0.16 ampere or 0.16 ampere. Simple calculation of current from the given data. Let's move ahead. This diagram, we have got very interesting thing here. We have got two lenses of focal length, lenses L1 and L2, and their focal lengths are given 12 and 18, and the distance between them is 10 centimeter. That means this distance is 10 centimeter. So two lenses, both are convex, having focal length this as 12, this as 18, kept a distance of 10 centimeter. What I want to find is what is the total focal length and power of the combination. So we realize that why actually we combine the lenses. So if you see here, we have to find P1 power of this lens, we have to find P2 power of other lens, we have to find P the power of the combination, and hence focal length of the combination. Or you can find focal length first, power later on, whatever way you are comfortable. Now we know that distance is given 10 centimeters, so it becomes 0.1. Focal length is in meters, it is in meters, and the formula says that power is 1 upon focal length. For power of the first lens is 1 upon 0.2. You have to see that this focal length has to be in meters. P2 similarly is 0.55 diopters, and the total power actually of the combination is 1 of the focal length. For all the lenses it is 1 upon focal length, and the focal length is given by 1 upon f1 plus 1 upon f2 minus d upon f1 f2. If I simplify, and if I even don't simplify, 1 upon f1 is the power of first lens, right? 1 upon f2 is the power of second lens, and when we solve it we get this is nothing but 9.25 diopter. It is very clear that individual lenses have got power of 8.33, other have got a power of 5.55, and when we combine we get a power of 9.25. Power increases. That's why we need to combine the lenses. And once you know the power, we can find a focal length, equivalent focal length as well, which is nothing but 1 upon power. One thing we should know and we should remember, that increasing the power of lens combination is not the only reason for the combination or combination of lenses. The other important factor is that there are aberrations in the lenses, chromatic aberration, spherical aberration and all, and that is used to reduce that aberrations also. So it is not only to increase the power of the lens combination or the lens system, it is for decreasing or removing the chromatic or spherical or different type of aberrations available in the lens system. I hope I am understandable. Thank you.